first thing, I have to check, okay, I woke up, what it means. Oh, it means I am the body and the mind complex. But it is happening due to the five elements. Come on, that is where the yajna comes. I'm just taking you a little deeper. Oh, if I am the body, really? Air sustains the body. The mind moved from unconscious to conscious state. The space is there. Five elements constitutes the body, including the mind. And I say, I woke up. Who is this I who woke up? Who is this I who was sleeping? Who is this I who was dreaming? And then I have a sense of humility. My goodness, I am connected to these five elements, which causes the waking dream and the sleep state every day. And it has been for the last 40, 50 years. My goodness, it is all happening in the world outside. It is all happening outside of real I. And I claim that it is happening in me. Come on, it is not happening in me. Not at all. And there the yajna comes, I'm connected to the space, air, fire, water, and they live in a certain proportion that causes the waking state, that causes the dream state, that causes the stress state, that causes the, oh my goodness, I have to recognize this experience. This experience belongs not to me. It is body mind complex, five elements. So let me connect myself to this. What constitutes these five body? Look at any kind of a pleasure or a pain. It is a contact between an object made up of the five elements, senses, and the mind. Oh, there's nothing more than that. Why should I pay more importance to that? I should become aware. Pleasure is there, I should not get obsessed. Pain is there, I should not react. So the yajna results into equanimity. Consciousness is independent of all. If that is not there, no yajna will work, nothing works. How can I hear you and how can I see you? Thanks all these gods and goddesses, all these five elements which made me aware through the consciousness. So I should have that feeling and awareness that how I am interconnected and in what way they are contributing to me. I'm sleeping in, air is contributing to me to keep the body alive. I'm not at all aware. I'm totally unconscious. I'm totally dead. And when I wake up, I am dead with other things. I have a stressed mind. I have a cognitive biased mind. So I'm living dead completely. Whether I'm unconscious sleeping, I'm dead. I'm waking state, I'm still dead. I don't hear you. So, yeah, now I hear
In
you.
both states, the self is sustaining us, right? Isn't that when
It is the self at the center is sustaining us. That is what the yajna, at the center it is sustaining. And the harmony is being created outside. I told you the definition of yajna, harmony. I have to strike the harmony. I have to recognize that harmony, my friend, here and now, in all the situation, in all my relationship. Does yajna means external rituals of sacrifice? No. It is an internal It is an internal, you can say, a renunciation of selfishness, separatedness. It is, yajna is realignment. I have to connect myself. I have to check and become aware of interconnectedness. And once there is an interconnectedness, realignment, dropping the selfishness and separatedness, I am one with the entire existence. And there the yajna is working consciously. So what yajna is, I'm sacrificing my limitations within the mind. I'm sacrificing my limitations. I slept, I woke up, I fought, I reacted. These are all limitations created by the mind in ignorance, in delusion. It's not a big deal. Logically, we can understand that. It's not a big science. It's not a rocket science. I'm connected. So when I'm connected, then I see, is the air connected unselfishly to me all the time? Answer is yes. In deep sleep, it is connected. Space, in deep sleep, it is connected. Heat means all the biological functions, hormones and enzymes are working without my notice and keeping the body healthy. So that is what we refer to as a heat, as a fire. Come on, water. We say 70% is water. Put few drops of the water into your lungs and see what happens. It is not going there. It is still 70% is water. Oh, that is why we give the label to them as a god. God, here the word is deva. Deva means to given, always giving, always giving. Can I have that attitude of always giving? And there I become a contributor. The moment I am a contributor, I enter into that cycle of harmony. And once I enter into the cycle of harmony, realization of the real self is not too far. Can the ordinary work incompatible with the yajna? No. Even the ordinary work, karma yoga reveals, or yajna reveals, how ordinary works can uplift or entangle us based on my intent, based on my attitude.
Do we go from karma yoga to yajna, the deeper aspect of karma yoga?
Yeah. Yajna lays a foundation, the basic concepts and the principles of karma yoga. And then we reach to a karma yoga attitude in the mind of non-doership and equanimity outside. Equanimity outside. You have a heart of breathing, you don't blame the air. You are thirsty, you don't blame the water. So there is a sense of equanimity. Oh, water is always available. I have not taken it. Why I have not taken it? Because my mind is already living in the stress. Stressed mind, angry mind, likes and dislikes mind. No, I don't like the water. I like what I like. What is known as, energy drink. I like the energy drink.
I hear some people say, I don't like water, I don't drink water. What are you talking about?
Don't drink, water.
That's crazy.
So, yajna reveals how even ordinary action can uplift or entangle me. Can yajna be reconciled with regular life duties? Answer is yes. Regular life duties. Yes. And what is the spirit behind? I become aware. I use the discerning intellect and I see how I am connected. And then the moment I recognize how I am connected, am I not connected to the space? Yes, all the time. You remove the space. and then tell me, can you move the body? Can you blink your eyes? Leave aside, if the water is not present in my eyes, I cannot blink my eyes. There are a lot of challenges suffering. People suffer from the eyes problem. There's a dryness of the eyes. Oh my goodness. So I'm connected to the water element. I'm connected to the air element. My pores, the pores of my skin absorbs the air, and the air is always available. What sustains the practice of yajna? This is what sustains it. I recognize the greater joy and the meaning when I move from the selfishness to unselfishness. That is a great recognition. That is what sustains the practice of yajna. It is from the selfishness to unselfishness. And I have already explained you what is this selfishness and what is this unselfishness many times. Selfishness not in a social, not defined by the social worker, not defined by a psychiatrist, not defined by a psychotherapist. No. Simple definition of selfishness, I find myself limited with an I thought caused by the strong likes and dislikes, attachment and detachment. And you just drop it and you see what happens to your whole being. You have a sense of freedom instantly because now I'm very well connected. That is what sustains the yajna. No, but without some selfish interest, how can I work? Again, there is a problem. By shifting my focus from selfishness, from personal loss and gain to contributing selflessly. I need to contribute selflessly. How do I contribute? I'm simply recognizing the role. I cannot speak if there is no space, there is no air, saliva, as the water is not present. I don't have an energy, the fire. Oh, I'm a self-made man. How dare I'm a self-made man? What kind of a self-made man you have? I told you the story. The scientist went to a god and God said, I created a baby. I said, from where you got the, God asked, from where you got the raw material? Oh, from you. First create your raw material and then create a baby. And that raw material is the 5 elements. And I claim that I am a self-made man. So why we are stressing the sense of humility should dawn. I should crush and destroy this ego so that I am very well connected. How does yajna connect to the fields like business and politics? Yes. A profit and the power becomes the means, not the ends, for ethical contribution to uplift people. They act in harmony with yajna. That is why in ancient times in India, one great master used to be the main minister of the king. They used to check that are you doing all the activities in the spirit of yajna or you are not doing it. Every master, every king has those masters.
Yeah, we don't do that anymore,
We still do this. Our current prime minister always goes to these great enlightened masters, seek their blessing indirectly, not openly.
Worldwide, it would be a good thing.
Worldwide, it would be a good thing. Does yajna mean completely abandoning enjoyment or possessions? No, you are enjoying more. Now your enjoyment is much deeper because you are connected. In selfishness, in seeking pleasure from the world outside, you have an ego sense. Here you have an expanded consciousness. No. Look at it. Your life from the day one, when you enter into the yajna, the life, it becomes the life of worship, life of sacrifice, life of unselfishness, life of contribution. And how can you not enjoy? When you have a sense of unselfishness, when you have a sense of contribution, when you have a sense of interconnectedness, you enjoy more. Whatever the food that you eat, you have more pleasure now without any attachment, without any aversion. What I have to do, I have to reflect on the motivation inside. Yajna is inside my head. Motivation. Motivation behind action. Motivation, I explained you the attitude. Attitude has two components. I made it very clear. I am connected to the space now. That is a cognitive thought, and then I have a feeling. Answer is yes, yes, I'm connected to the space, whether I sit in the car and driving, whether I'm sitting in the room, whether I'm sitting with my honey, wherever. So I'm sacrificing that selfishness. The spirit of the yajna should enter into my breath all the time. And you see the life changes tremendously. Life changes tremendously. How does practicing yajna lead to the spiritual freedom? Or we say the sense of freedom. Ego is going. The ego cannot sustain, ego cannot sustain. I speak because of these five elements. I express myself because of these five elements. If these five elements, minus these five elements, nothing is left. Nothing is left. So a sense of yajna gives me an expansiveness. It gives me that, these five elements are always available to me, whether I land up in Africa or India or I'm living in US. They reach before me. No, I'm flying in executive class. And the plane air is not there, then we will see that how you are flying in an executive class. You have a little more space, which you see in an executive class. What kind of an executive class you have? You see that you crush.
You hear the story about the guy in the submarine not that long ago who was a billionaire, but he got stuck in the submarine with some other people, and I was telling someone, like, isn't that crazy? Like, who cares, right? He's just the same as everybody else right now, like, on that submarine.
You have $1 billion submarine and yacht. Minus five elements, nothing exists. Nothing exists. You see, you are crushing all your selfishness, your limitations, your strong likes and dislikes mind, your money mind, your monkey mind, your cognitive biased mind. What is left in the mind? Mind is now transparent. That is what the yajna and the karma yoga. Yajna involves selfless sacrifice of ego identities and realignment to the greater universal welfare. Because now I'm connected. The moment I have a sense of connection, I have a contribution. And the moment I have a contribution, I have a sense of gratefulness. I am already a part of universal welfare, whether you are not paying even a single penny or not. But what will happen? Your mind will say, okay, let me do something physically also. Can I support? It comes on its own. But normally people start, I've donated, one guy from Ukraine, who is paying for one group session and other is volunteer. So he said, my wife is suffering from the cancer and I have been donating the money, nothing happened. I said, nothing is going to happen. You have to ask yourself from where the money you got it. You got the money since your birth? Did you earn that money? He drove me into Maserati when I was in Ukraine. So I enjoyed. I said, I own this.
Did he believe that donating money would fix the cancer?
Yeah, fix the cancer. Fix the cancer. I said, nothing is going to happen, but because you have a selfish motive, perhaps it will create more problems.
Yeah.
It will create more problem because you are already in stress. You are thinking that you donated so much of money. But you never thought from where the money you got from the entire universe. You did not connect yourself. You did not create that harmony. I get all those crazy questions, but those who want to understand, then I guide them. But he's quite intelligent. He's very intelligent. So what exactly you think that, as a seeker, what I'm learning? What I'm learning? I'm learning how to think, speak, and act. I should perform an action without my selfish motivation or attachments. This is what the seeker is learning. So first declare that I'm a seeker. And then push your ego to a limit so that it evaporates. Push your selfishness to evaporate. You will get the food. Even if you go for bankruptcy, it doesn't make any difference. You will continue to get your food, air, and the water to sustain your life. Why? Because we are intelligent enough to sustain that. And that intelligence again comes from the consciousness. So everything is given by us from the Shiva. We are enough. Enough. Now I only want this car. There is a problem. Where is the selfishness? Underlying motive behind actions determine binding or liberating effects rather than just an external behavior of donating the money. Went to the Goodwill and got some clothes, and I was thinking about my parents and sisters. Oh, let it go to you. It has come from you, it should go to you. Why should I think that I'm donating? How the hell I can donate anything in my life? I'm being donated by 5 elements all the time. You see how much you are filled with the joy that they are immensely contributing. I have a part of my connectedness contribution all the time. My every single breath is a contribution from these unseen forces. Or
exactly about the money mind and being contentedness.
Yeah. Content. Your sense of contentment is there. It does not mean that I should not earn money. Remember, contentment is there. The sense of peace, self, and unselfishness is there. That brings the contentment. But now I need a glass of water, so I should go to the kitchen and grab that. That's where I make an effort. Thank you, water. You are connected to me so easily. So that is also earning water, whether you earn water or whether you earn money. So the master is stressing again and again, my friend, binding effect of any action arises from the egoistic desire, selfishness, personal identification. I have to get rid of this from my mind. I surrender the attachment to the results and shifting my motive to everything you are bringing forth, everything you are manifesting. one part of the law of attraction has been, they have borrowed from this thing. Everything is coming from that contribution. So the time comes we are connected at the center. And the moment you are connected to the center, outer problems, your personal, professional, and social problems will definitely be resolved, not according to your selfish desire and ego, but according to the existence. It has to be solved. There is only one power of consciousness. That is regulating these. Why your problems cannot be solved? It has to be solved. Because you are undergoing into that phase of the life, and that is why I said, let me give you another perspective of this. So what is exactly, if you say, what is a core concept? Sometimes we say, oh, what do you want to convey? I'm conveying, leave the crazy mind. I have underlined 7 or 8 crazy mind stuff, which causes the selfishness. How to leave that? You contemplate, reflect, recognize. How to recognize? Do the self-inquiry to examine hidden selfish motive causing this suffering. First is the contemplation. So when you contemplate, you recognize, I'm already connected. I have to simply recognize it. Okay. So the contemplation, connection, then I appreciate the temporary nature and the interconnectedness of all the beings. I am grateful I have started contribution. Another word you can say, I channel talents for the benefits of everyone. I am born to benefit others. I am born to contribute others. That is what happens to the teachers when they reach to that state. Why you are teaching? Just for the sake of teaching. Just for the sake of expression. But if I'm making an effort, I will get some reward. But my eyes is not on the reward. My master, I used to ask, why the hell, you don't need to teach. He said, yes. You think that I'm teaching, but I'm expressing that real self. I'm expressing that real self. You think it is teaching, but my talk and my discourses, my practice giving to you just a contribution, because that existence has given me so much. Even if I continue speaking for 50 years, I will not be able to repay the debt. Buddha was enlightened at the age of 40, 42, and then he continued teaching for more than 50 years, 90, almost 50 years, at the age of the 90. He covered even every single village in India. At
so
that,
I still have a chance. I'm not dead yet then. 42.
42. And at that time, you see, at that time, the population of India was hardly 500,000. I have to bring out some logical answers. I said, I calculated and I found out the population was only 5 million, 500,000. 2600 BC. So it means he toured entire India 50 times. It means he visited every village. He visited everyone. Just only for the sake to repay the debt. What is repay? Repaying the debt of realization, of awakening. That is what the masters are doing. So what happens? You are celebrating. That is why I use this word contemplation, connection, contribution, gratefulness, and a celebration. So you are celebrating your life all the time. I remember my master used to say, I don't have even a single penny in my name. And that is why I am the king. Why I need not to protect it. I'm not scared. I'm not at all scared.
Sometimes I see like a homeless person and I think, oh, they're way richer than I am.
Yeah. We
are. They don't have anything.
They don't have.
Some days I would give anything to have nothing.
Now see that. When I am a poor person, it means I have a selfish motivation. I am attached. Because I am poor, I don't have, I don't possess. And that differentiates between the poor person and my master who is a king. I don't want to possess. I don't want to possess. And whatever belongs to me, it belongs to the existence. Let it be spared. Let me see through the contemplation, through the contribution, through the connection, through the celebration. And that he celebrated almost his 50 years. So what exactly is happening? You are trying to find out the center. You're creating a harmony at the circumference by the yajna. And by creating that harmony, you are entering into the center of that harmony. The center of the harmony is the real self, unchanging, eternal, real self, unchanging, and whatever the 6 characteristics I talked about. Gita talked in the 2nd chapter. It is eternal, it is truth, it is all-pervading, it cannot be objectified, it is neither the doer and the enjoyer. Oh, everything is happening in his presence. Yes, that's why I should claim the doership, and it cannot be modified. So you live into that state of awareness. We move very closer. From the circumference, we move closer to the center. That is the purpose of yajna. I don't have money. Let me offer my talents. I don't have a word clothes to spare. Let me offer my knowledge to you to calm you down. Where is the problem? What I offer? I don't offer any tangible aspect. Here is an interesting thing that I'll tell you what happens with the selfish nature. Pay attention. When I am selfish, my mind is obsessed with the tangible results, intangible thing. What is tangible? It is physical. So my mind is totally obsessed with the physical perception. And as long as I am totally obsessed, guided, and dictated by the physical perception, how can I recognize real self is so subtle? Can I see real self? No. This is what happens. That is why every master says that we have to live a life of yajna. My physical perception is limited. Real self is unlimited and all-pervading. I can see you. I can see to a certain limit. If any object is very close to my eyes, limitation. If an object is too far, limitation. Same thing with all the 5 sense organs. One limitation. Second limitation that we don't realize, my eyes cannot hear. But the real self is all pervading. I need an instrument. I need to prepare the mind so that this mind can reflect the all pervading real self. Yajna plays an important role here. I instantly bypass my limitation of the space that I'm living in my house. I see the space. I break the limitation of the air is all pervading. I break the limitations of a location being aware of the earth element. It is all about the change of the mind. I told you, yajna, karma, yoga is to purify the mind. That is what we are doing. This is what the purification is. This is what the purification is. And that is why I gave you 6 or 7, perhaps 7 or 8 definitions to make you clear. You pick up any definition, you will be able to find out all the 8 or 9 definitions. I gave my own expression. In different texts, there are different ways. So, sacrificing, what is sacrificing? Sacrificing your ego, selfishness, where you are sacrificing into the fire of knowledge, into fire of understanding. How you are connected to, you recognize the connection. So when there is no attachment, there is already a connection. So you are getting rid of attachment and aversion. So what is this attachment and aversion? What it causes? It causes the impurities in the mind. What is that impurities? It creates a limitation. I become very selfish. I think, speak, and act out of the ego. I have to align myself. Yes, at the physical level, I can donate some items. I help the neighbors. As an offering. That is also okay because that will remind me that I am in the circle of harmony and in the circle of yajna. Yes, I should do it even at the physical level, at the mental level. There may be an ethical contribution every day. Did I tell you that I went to Cole last year and the lady was wonderful, she was welcoming, always smiling and happy. She was at the cashier. So I used sometimes some statements. Oh, you look very happy. I'm always happy. Are you sure? I said, are you happy at your home? No, don't ask me that question. I said, now I know that. And I should not ask you that question. But one thing I want to make sure, the way you are full of laughing and smiling and happy, the way you treat every customer here, can you treat the same way everyone at your home? Leave aside their problem. So she looked at me, what do you do? I said, I'm not going to tell you what I do. So you pass on, you live into that state. You see that what you can contribute in a different way. So deeply connected. We suffer deeply from disconnection. We suffer from disconnection, and that disconnection, all list of I told you, you picked up that very well. Stressed mind, dislike, and I'm disconnected because of that, and I continue the journey. I strengthen those disconnections. So I reach to a higher level of selfishness. I breed selfishness. And we get trapped in selfish desire, breeding anxiety, breeding duality, breeding common problem. Again, I'm repeating. So how to practice yajna in your thought, in your words, in your speech, in your action, contemplating and reflecting. Before you perform any action, you contemplate and reflect, you recognize the contribution, now you are grateful, go ahead and do all the actions in your life. Again, I'm saying it's a very subtle. It appears very physical, but it's very subtle. Or you can say the yajna means, or it entails mindfully examining motives behind action. That is contemplation. recognizing our shared essence with all the life, that is connection. And when I am connected, wow, mind says, I'm grateful to you all. And then I offer my talents selflessly without reward is a contribution. And feeling inner joy in a purposeful service, that is celebration. I have to absorb this, digest this, assimilate this, so that you wake up in the morning, thank you. You sleep in the night, thank you. Carlin comes to offer you something. Oh, you're not feeling hungry? Come in, let's have thank you internally. First, thank you. Existence made Carlin aware to remind you of eating, and that is why you are on the table. Otherwise, when we have strong likes and dislikes and selfishness, we stop eating. Think this. So everyone is contributing in my life. Everyone. I have to look at. That is what the Manushya Yajna I have covered long back. I have covered 5 Yajna. I have covered in Yajna for the ancestors. I have covered Yajna for the teachers. I have covered Yajna for everyone. Every day in the morning I say, thank you, my son. Thank you, my daughter. Thank you, my honey. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Jerry. Oh, thank you. Yes. You are not convinced because of me. Because of the existence, you thought I will receive the knowledge. That is why you are with me. I remember everyone, and even the volunteering. Oh, volunteering? When the entire existence volunteers to me, I'm doing such a fractional contribution. You allowed me to contribute. Thank you. That sense of gratefulness changes your entire life. Whether you have $1 billion or you don't have a penny, it doesn't make any difference. I have that sense of gratefulness in New Jersey when I came in 2009. Desperation was there, frustration was there, nothing was happening. It has only been 7 or 8 months. I don't know, I still don't able to find out how I met David Nathan. He's the head of the Department of Psychiatrist. So he heard me somewhere when I was giving some free talk in Princeton. So he called me and he said, come and meet me. I went there and met him. He said, after a week, you have to fill up these forms. So he gave me, there is a continuing education credit for the social workers and the psychotherapists. So he took my profile, prepared, I don't remember how he met me, how I met him, how he called me. For 2 hours talk, he paid me $1,900. But he was so convinced, how he can be convinced? It was because of the existence. So he said, next week you are going to talk to a Princeton University. It is a master lecture series. Again, I received an email. For 2 hours lecture, I got $1,700.
Welcome to America.
2 months of payment, of rental payment, was done in 2 weeks. It happened.
That must have been a challenging period in your life, I imagine.
Yeah. It was much more challenging back in India when I left everything for a couple of years. So it was not as challenging. I saw that. Then I was working in a convenience store, and I did not tell my qualification. He was an Italian guy. So there was a big interview was published in a local newspaper, and he called me inside and he said, you told me that you are uneducated. I said, I'm still uneducated. No, 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 no. So I'm raising your $2 per hour. I said, thank you, but don't tell anyone. Hide this newspaper. There were some New Jersey Times, I don't remember.
That's funny.
So total reliance. Yajna gives you that if you rely totally on the existence has to do something. When should I practice yajna? All the time, 24/7. 24, my compulsiveness, my obsession, my ideas, thoughts coming from the stressed and ego mind will stop. You progress, you have an inner evolution. And the next month, then I told this Italian guy, I'm leaving you. He said, better you leave me. I don't want you to work here.
It's a funny attitude to have.
So it was much before I got these two opportunities from the Princeton University. So after the two talks, and David Nathan called me again. I'm always indebted to him. We talk once a month. So I said, it will take me about 9 months to do my mental health certification. And 9 months I cannot earn because I have to work under a psychiatrist. Then only I will get a certification of mental health counseling. You see what it came from the existence. He called me in his clinic and he said, read this. So I read, no insurance is accepted. Per session cost is $350. He has the confidence. He has the right knowledge. He's very intelligent, very wise, extremely wise, very calm. I said, I didn't get it. He said, come inside my clinic. He said, you need not to go for certification. I know you have the knowledge. Start the journey. Instead of saying counselor, you say coaching. Everything will work. I never had this idea. It came from the existence. He did it without taking even a single penny. In those days, it was difficult to go to any restaurant. Invited, I still remember, P. Chang restaurant. He invited me and my wife. He said, don't worry. I know you know the subject matter so well, there is no problem. I'm learning from you, I'm a psychiatrist, I have a different approach. The life changes. Yajna is applicable everywhere, from the mundane to a sacred life. I have to just apply it in my life. I have to just everywhere. We are not asking you what to do. We are simply asking how to do with what attitude you are performing an action. Are you doing an action because your mind says, I depend on pleasure from you? It is selfish act. I share the pleasure with you, contribution, my sensuality calms down. It happens, it will happen, I know. Our achievements, Yajna tells us, all our achievements has two factors. One is visible factor, physical level. One is invisible factor. Yajna helps to tap those invisible factors. You don't know from where, who will meet you. I tell you another story. One Anne Hoffman, who is still with me, I told you, she's 89, 90 years old now. She still does one session every week. She said, no, I'm not going to leave you. She is very happy at the age of 90, living alone. She introduced me to another girl, and that girl arranged a. You should be in the mode of yajna. So New York City, I went there. I gave a talk, and one 6 feet 5 inches guy was listening to me with a necktie and a suit. Another girl, I can name it. She is Terry, lives in Brooklyn. So after the talk, this guy his name is, I'll tell you the name if I remember, Eli Markovici. So later on, I realized that he was eye surgeon in Columbia University. So he invited me to his house. I went to his house in a skyscraper, perhaps 16th, 17th floor. First time in US I saw that. I have seen in other countries, but yes. So he said, Mr. Jha, every week you have to come here. I'll pay you $300 for your every visit. So what I have to do, I will invite 15 doctors of Columbia University. You have to teach them. And then it depends on you. I'm not going to ask you how many clients you got from those people. I continued teaching for 3 years there. He continued paying me. He asked me about my children. He was contributing, you see that? He was contributing. When I went to his clinic and I saw because of his contribution, he was extremely famous. Yajna. Another girl, it's worth mentioning. I love her. She is maybe 5 years younger to me. She was working as some web designer and some in the book designing industry in New York City. She invited me to her office. Within, I think, 5 or 6 months, she was diagnosed with Parkinson. I said, Terry, I'm not going to leave you. In those days, she used to pay me. The time came when job was gone, everything is gone. She was not able to pay. I said, no, I'm still with you. Until I remained there, I used to visit Brooklyn. And I used to guide her for about almost 3 hours. Then I came here. She is still connected in a group session. She has such a very penetrating understanding. She is living a happy life in spite of getting all the treatments. I said, no, I'm not going to charge you anything. Need not to pay. How you are connected to the entire world, you don't know. You don't know. Existence has decided. It is already in the womb of the existence. I have to have a reliance on that existence 200%. This is what I want to make I should have conviction without any doubt. The doubt comes from the selfish nature, the ego sense. So that sense of invisible factors, we are exploring those invisible factors, we are making it visible. How you can make it visible? Because we are seekers. The life is definitely going to change, my friend. These are temporary phases. I have money, I don't have money. I have this thing and I don't have this thing. I have to shift my consciousness.
I think it was all of this has its reason.
Yes.
I think it's the opportunity for me to really take a look.
Take a look, change your attitude, and start living a life of a higher consciousness, and then see what you wanted to achieve will be achieved. And a 99% contribution by the existence, and 1% is a visible contribution outside. I have to recognize that interconnectedness, the reality upholding. Do I do anything to David Nathan? Yes, I only remember him. I feel so good about him. I dropped the false notion of personal ownership. Then what happened, again, Greystone Psychiatrist Hospital. It's the largest psychiatrist hospital owned by the New Jersey government. So somebody introduced me. I went there, and the lady was there. She had almost 40 years of experience. She said, I invited you to take care of a couple of my patients, but now, no. So I said, this opportunity is also gone. Mine has it out. I have 25 psychotherapists. You have to train them. For about, say 10 weeks, $12,000. This much I can pay. I don't have any resources and you are paying. I had the tears in my eyes. I said, God, my master, you are helping me. This is how the thing works. So I have to tap those invisible forces. Yajna taps those invisible forces. I have to live into that state all the time. You lose the bonds of karma. Karma means action plus selfish desire. So you are loosening the bonds, because when you loosen the bonds, you open up to the higher opportunities. But I have to give a check to, because of the yajna. Every third day I get a message in the LinkedIn that you will be able to earn 10 million. I will get you 10 clients every week. I'm not interested. I'm very happy with it. Very happy with it. My master, I remember, keep a low profile. If you try to be famous, the existence will make you infamous in one or the other way. Don't try to push to a limit. Enjoy your life. Life of a seeker is totally different. You end mental suffering. You bring an end to the mental suffering. You don't have anything. You have so much of less. And still your mental suffering is gone, because the selfishness and the ego identity is gone. You're directly feeling the unity between all the manifestations. You're living in tune with your higher nature. You have a sense of equanimity. Equanimity will come on its own. You need not to worry about it. Success, very good. Failure, good. Both are good. I'm not going to leave working. I'm not going to leave working. You have a freedom from anxiety over the personal loss or the gain. You have a sense of inner joy. You have a sense of purpose in your life. Normally, when we don't have money, I don't have any purpose. Money, how the money and purpose are related? Expanded empathy and vision. You have an expanded vision and purpose. This is what the Bhagavad Gita, verse number 23 and 24 says, the work of those who are under the delusive ego perception bears no fruit either in this world or the next. They suffer in this birth, they suffer in the next birth. The man of perfect knowledge, Yajna, man of perfect Yajna, should not unsettle the ignorant attached to the action, rather performing the action 24/7, the life is going to change. Not only outer life, but inner life is going to change. And I told you, I explained you, just as the flames are covered by smoke, mirrors by dust, embryos by the amnion, knowledge gets obscured by the egoistic action. I have to unravel that knowledge. I have to unravel that knowledge, and that knowledge leads me to the perfecting the yajna. And when I perfect that yajna, the life completely changes. It will change, but it is not changing. I expect it should change today. Come on, so keep aside your ego. You have done your work. Don't tell me it has not changed. I have done it. So, you have done it out of the ego. You have done it the way this rich guy spent a lot of money